Tonight on News 13.
A fire in Mount Carbon spreads to its fire department. I'll have that story.
October is the month to fight the danger of fires before they start. We'll have some tips on how to do that.
A couple and their family misplaced from their home because the landlord hasn't paid the water bill in years. We'll have that story coming up.
This is News 13 Now.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to News 13 Now. I'm Kathy Bazinski. Flames erupted in Mount Carbon just before dawn this morning and quickly spread to the town's fire company. 2 homes are also badly damaged, and as Matthew Petrillo tells us, firefighters are calling that blaze suspicious.
Fire crews were on the scene here in Mount Carbon since 4:30 Friday morning, shortly after a fire started in this home at 116 Main Street. That home was unoccupied, but the home next door at 118 Main Street wasn't. Flames ripped through it, forcing a woman out of the home before it quickly spread to a fire social hall that sits next to that home. Witnesses say they saw the smoke from Pottsville.
And even over the top of these trees here, people were saying they were coming from Llewellyn, and they could see it from up above, and they had to put their fog lights on in order to get down here through the smoke. So it was bad.
Some neighbors, like Ed Motley, say the cause of the fire is probably arson.
For anybody to do something like that, they should be caught and punished to the full extent of the law.
Motley says he saw the fire hall first get built back in 1953. Today, he can hardly bear to see it in ruins.
When it burnt, it really hurt me. I'm still sort of choking on it.
The chief isn't ruling it as arson, at least not yet. That's because it's still under investigation. But he's calling the fire that started at this vacant home that's without electricity very suspicious.
This is our second fire in a vacant house with no power, so this is getting very scary.
Another suspicious fire happened just a few weeks ago, around the same time 2 blocks away. No one was injured in that fire, but today one firefighter was sent to the hospital.
First assistant chief, he was hit by an electric current from our boom. It came in contact with the upper power line.
That fireman is now out of the hospital, and the chief says he's doing okay. But the chief says for his sake, if the fire is ruled arson, the individuals who started it will be caught and prosecuted. Matthew Petrillo, News 13, Mount Carbon.
Nobody wants a fire to erupt in their home at any time, but next week, National Fire Prevention Week, so it's getting some special attention. It's for 7 days of fire safety tips the American Red Cross wants you to be prepared for. It sponsors Fire Prevention Week every year across the country, and it's put together these safety tips so that everybody can be prepared. The Red Cross says there are a number of ways that everybody can make sure they're not the victims of house fires.
Have working smoke alarms in your house. They tell us that about 65% of all of the fire fatalities in the home are related to not having working smoke alarms. So having working smoke alarms is very, very important. Smoke alarm in every level of the house, outside of bedrooms, sleeping areas, and so forth. And have a plan, and the plans don't have to be something difficult. Sit down with your family members, everybody that lives in the house, and make sure that everybody knows 2 ways out of every room. Have a meeting place outside of the house, okay, that a central point that everybody meets, because not everybody may come out the same way. And very, very importantly, certainly, once you get out, stay out. That is extremely important. Don't wait, don't go back for any reason, call the fire department.
And the Red Cross is also handing out free pamphlets to anybody who'd like more information. Just stop by your local chapter of the American Red Cross and pick one up. A Hazleton family with 2 children is out of its home tonight, not due to fire, but a lack of water. The city shut it down because the home doesn't have any because the landlord hasn't dealt with the problem. As Mike Madry tells us, the city declared the home unfit to live in.
I have nowhere to go, no family.
It's a situation that no one wants to be put through. Raul Velez is losing his home because it is deemed unlivable. With broken water pipes and no running water, the city of Hazleton had no choice but to shut this down.
Well, right now I got to leave my house by tomorrow. I have no money. I have nowhere to go, no family.
Hazleton code enforcer Mark Thompson says this house at 233 East Spruce Street has been questionable even before Velez moved in. Thompson made the call to shut the home down, but does say it's not necessarily because Velez did something wrong.
But I do know that the property owner has a substantial backlog of payments to the water authority to the tune of thousands of dollars, and that's possibly a reason why the meter was removed.
Thompson blamed a boiler leak and bent water pipes as his main reason to condemn the Hazleton home. He says it's the landlord's responsibility to fix the problems. However, the house, which is owned by Hazleton Homes, has never done anything about them. The owner of Hazleton Homes is out of state and reportedly ill.
The landlord haven't paid the water in a year. And then I call his guy, Jay, and he tells me that he didn't know it was coming, but he hasn't paid it in a year. How don't you know something's coming like that when you haven't paid something in a year?
Mr. Velez tells News 13 that his house will be condemned sometime today. Now, Mr. Velez also telling News 13 that his house is indeed in livable condition despite his landlord not paying his water bill dating back to last year.
It is the owner's responsibility to pay the water, the garbage, and the sewer bills on the properties.
Since the house has been deemed unlivable with no running water, Velez has already moved his fiancée and children out and now has to make provisions for another family member.
I have 2 dogs, and I'm not going to get rid of my dogs. They're like my kids. I can't do that to them.
Mike Madry, News 13, Hazleton.
City of Hazleton has taken a small empty space and turned it into what it hopes will become a downtown oasis. City officials and members of the business community were there today for the official ribbon cutting for the new patio, which is adjacent to the downtown intermodal transportation center at Church and Mine Streets. The shaded area alongside the transportation center has a cozy patio with several cafe tables and in nice weather, some bistro-style umbrellas. The good news, the patio isn't just for travelers, but is open to anybody who needs to take a break while visiting the downtown.
This is a big step for the community. I feel that we're welcoming everybody to come down to this facility, not only to ride a bus, to come down, sit and relax, and just enjoy the new building that was built 3 years ago. Just enjoy the place. That's what we're looking for.
Transit officials say they're also pleased about the quick turnaround time in getting the patio ready. The contractor had it ready for some downtown relaxation in just under 3 months. And coming up on News 13 now, we keep the warm temps for the weekend, but get a dose of humidity and some showers as well. We'll tell you about it in News 13 weather. But first, some local students kick bullying to the curb and just about every place else you can think of. We'll take you to the big event coming up on News 13.
You're watching News 13 now, local and loving it. You're watching News 13 now on SSPTV. Brought to you by Samson Productions and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
It's been a major campaign in school districts all across our region. Stop students from bullying one another. Today, some local teachers took the message outdoors and, as Mike Madry tells us, taught their students how to kick bullying out of school.
Staff at the Freeland Middle School had the opportunity to spread bullying awareness to their students, only this time they got to teach away from their classroom and out on the playing field.
Well, October is National Bully Awareness Month, and what we're doing here at Freeland Middle School is the students are participating in some active engaging lessons that teach about the importance of not bullying and the effect that it has on all of our lives and our school in particular.
Students playing in today's event understand that it's not just about today's game and winning. They understand there's even a bigger picture to this all.
Well, bullying is just really wrong, and everyone should be treated equally, and we're all the same no matter what, and I think bullying should just stop, so I think this is good that we're doing this today.
Holding an event like this may be crucial when it comes to keeping bullying out of schools, considering statistics show that 77% of students have been bullied before entering middle school.
I think it's very important because, so many kids get bullied and it's not right, and today we're helping it.
5 teams were made up in today's kickball tournament. 2 teams from grade 7, 2 teams from grade 8, and then there's a teacher's team. The 7th and 8th graders would eventually play each other, and then the winners would wind up facing the teachers. It's all an effort to stop bullying in schools.
How fun is doing something like this? I mean, it's a win-win. You stop bullying and you play kickball.
Very fun.
Mike Madry, News 13, Freeland.
Time now for News 13 weather.
And in tonight's weather shot, we are local and loving it in Pottsville with a view from Route 61 of the majestic Schuylkill County Courthouse on a hazy autumn day. Always love that courthouse, the way it sits up on the hill overlooking the city of Pottsville. It's a beautiful building. Checking the National Weather Service radar, weather is summer-like, and with warmth and humidity comes a chance of some showers, and that's definitely what we're going to see moving through the area right into the overnight tonight, but only scattered here and there. And here's News 13 weather from the National Weather Service. First for Greater Hazleton for tonight, mostly cloudy with isolated evening showers, low getting down to 59 degrees. Then for Saturday, mostly cloudy, a high up to 76, nighttime low just down to 60. It's going to be warm. Sunday, mostly cloudy with a slight chance of showers or afternoon thunderstorms with a high near 74 degrees. Chance of showers and thunderstorms continues into the overnight with low getting down to 60. And for Monday, mostly cloudy with showers likely, possibly a thunderstorm, a high up to 69. Chance of showers at night, low down to 52. And for Tuesday, partly sunny with a chance of showers and a high near 65 degrees. Now heading on over to Schuylkill County for tonight, scattered showers and thunderstorms right through the evening as well as in the overnight with a low around 58 degrees. For Saturday, mostly cloudy, high up to 77. Overnight low around 59. On Sunday, partly sunny, slight chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Once again, the high near 77. That chance of showers continues into the overnight with a low down to 60. For Monday, showers likely and possibly a thunderstorm with a high near 69. Chance of showers at night with a low down to 52. Then for Tuesday, mostly cloudy with a chance of showers and a high near 67 degrees. And let's check the winning midday lottery numbers. Good luck if you play. The daily 984, Big 4 6112, the Quinto 45244, and the Treasure Hunt 3 4 11 12 17. I hope you won.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's social news. First tonight, happy 20th birthday to Tina and Shannon Bush. This wish comes with love from Mom. Tonight's Talk of the Town report, the Letters to Kayla Hart Foundation will be hosting a fundraiser Sunday, October 6th from noon to 9 p.m. at Pizza Hut. 20% of your bill will be donated to the foundation with a special coupon. Stop by Pizza Hut for the coupons or call 570-436-4123. And finally, Lift Your Spirits Performing Arts, in conjunction with the Sovereign Majestic Theater, will be presenting the show Christmas Through the Years, a USO tribute show. The show will be held December 7th and 8th. Tickets are only $10 and admission is free to all U.S. veterans and active service members. For tickets or more information, please call 570-628-4647. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Crystal Marie Lombardo of Shenandoah Heights, the Lukowitz-Orvitzfeld Funeral Home is in charge of arrangements. Elizabeth Betty Faust of Hazel Township, funeral is Monday at 10:30 a.m. from the Hazel Chapel of the Crofton Hughes Funeral Home. Friends may call Sunday from 7 to 9 p.m. And Bertha M. Yanuzzi, formerly of Humboldt. Funeral will be held Monday at 10 a.m. from the Piscataway Funeral Home. Friends may call Sunday from 3 to 6 p.m. Tonight's obituaries have been brought to you by the Smilax Floral Shop located on 15th Street in Hazleton. For delivery to all local funeral homes, call 570-454-0111. And also brought to you tonight by Leonard's Fine Dining, 615 East Broad Street in Hazleton. In your time of need, we can help you plan a funeral brunch or luncheon. Call 570-501-9600.
This is News 13 Sports.
Well, if it's week 6 of the high school football season, that means we're ready to start the second half of the regular season. That's just mind-boggling, actually, but that means it's make or break time for a lot of teams. Now, the Hazleton area Cougars, they get to sit back and watch tonight and see what everybody else does. They've got a Saturday game. We'll tell you more about that in a minute, but doesn't mean there's not a lot of good games out there. And the one you want to keep your eye on tonight in the Wyoming Valley Conference, well, it's a non-conference game. Wyoming Valley West is hosting the Stroudsburg Mounties, and this should be an interesting test for Valley West. We'll see what happens. Remember, Spartans have only lost to the Berwick Bulldogs, so they get another little test tonight. As far as Berwick, they should have an easy time of it. They'll cruise to a win tonight up north in Tunkhannock. A little rivalry there as West Scranton and Scranton meet, North Pocono and Del Val, and East Stroudsburg South goes down and takes on the Huskies of Allentown-Deeruff. Now, in the Schuylkill League, a couple of good games to watch here. North Schuylkill-Tamaqua could be interesting. Pottsville and Conrad Weiser hook up, and Williams Valley Pine Grove. And how about the Marion Colts? They've been hot now. They've won 2 in a row. Can they keep it going? I say yes. I say the Colts win tonight. They've got Panther Valley, and if that happens, they even things up at 3-3, and Nobody will remember that 0-3 start, right? Minersville goes to Jim Thorpe. Now, tomorrow, there's the Cougars. They've got a key game. It's up in Mountaintop. It's homecoming week at Crestwood. That's the reason why the game was bumped back to a Saturday night affair. So because of that, it's a 7 o'clock start, and the Cougars, who have won 2 in a row, this is going to be a much more interesting test than against Williamsport or Pittston. So we'll see what happens. Definitely a winnable game for the Cougars. Let's hope they could pull it off. On Saturday also, you're going to see Monterey and Carson Long, and Nativity is at Columbia Montour Votech. This afternoon, right now, as a matter of fact, pretty good Pittston team in playing soccer against the girls from Hazleton Area High School. D2, the single championship semifinals are today, and at 11, it's the single championship first round of the AA. And speaking of that, congratulations go out to Crestwood's Christy Bowman. She's the only survivor in the AAA singles from the lower end of the county, so she will advance. She'll face Maggie Manchester, and that's going to be today. We didn't get the results of that, so we'll let you know how that goes down. Hazleton Area Cougars in field hockey last night. Well, they have been on a roll this year, but Dallas came in and took control of the game. Lady Cougars made this interesting. They tied it at 1, they tied it at 2, but Dallas just played a little tougher defense coming down the stretch, and they win 4-2. Crestwood, 6-1 winners over Honesdale field hockey. Water polo, double win, 1 for the boys, 1 for the girls. Troy Valkuski had 4 goals as the Cougar boys down the Crimson Tide, and then the girls behind Becca Yanis' 5 goals, 17-11 winners over the visitors from Pottsville. So good day in water polo for the Cougars, boys and girls. Well, of course, the Major League Baseball playoffs are going on, and earlier today, the Pittsburgh Pirates tied their series up as they trounced the St. Louis Cardinals, so that made up for the beating the Cardinals put on them the night before. Of course, A.J. Burnett was pitching in that first one, and no surprise there in a big game. So that one is tied, 1 game apiece. The Buccos alive and well in the best-of-5 series. Now, the one that, well, some of you might be going back and forth and watching, you got the Rays and the Red Sox. The Rays jumped out to an early 2-0 lead. Sean Rodriguez hit one over the monster, but the Red Sox came back. They had 3 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning, and they not only caught the Rays, but then vaulted ahead of them. So we'll see what happens with the Rays. That game's still in progress. Hey, the American Hockey League, if you're a Penguins fan, it gets cranked up starting tomorrow. The Pens they'll be on the road. They're up at Bridgeport, but they'll be home soon enough. And if you like Penguins hockey, it's that time of year. Folks, have a good weekend. Tonight's sports is brought to you by Mountain Speedway. Here's a look at this weekend's action. It's going to be busy. The grandstand opens up at 12 noon. Racing starts at 2. Just $10 for grandstand admission. Kids under 10 are free. There's the website and the phone numbers. You could call them and get all the information on the excitement of racing down at Mountain Speedway.
A Rays Pirates World Series would really be kind of neat, but I don't think so. Hi, everybody. Another week is in the books on this first Friday in October. Let's wrap up the last 7, starting with last Friday night. The Hazleton Area Cougars won again, defeating Pittston Area 26-7. Zach Sikowski needed 11 yards to hit 1,000 career rushing yards. The junior ran for 131 and 4 touchdowns. Nick George rushed for 81, and Ryan Heller threw for over 100 yards while the D was playing very tough. The Cougars are 2-3. They play at Crestwood tomorrow night. The Marian Catholic Colts shocked North Schuylkill with a huge 27-26 win at home. Sophomore quarterback KJ Schnurr rushed for 179 yards and 2 touchdowns before getting carried off the field with a shoulder injury with less than 5 minutes to go in the 3rd stanza. Enter Lucas Damian. All he did was engineer the winning drive while rushing for 50 yards, the last 12 for his score. However, KJ Schnurr got the game ball. Let's hope he gets healthy again to play ASAP. It was the Colts' biggest win in years. They're 2-3. Other games of local interest: Berwick defeated Seelings Grove 36-0. The Cougars' next opponent tomorrow night at Crestwood They beat Tunkhannock 56-0, and Montaire's Golden Bears remained unbeaten at 5-0 after pummeling Minersville 47-7. Williamsport snapped a 16-game losing streak by beating Dallas 21-7, so Dallas looks like a sure win for the Cougars next week. And like I do every week, I search for an unusual score anywhere in the state, and I found one in Hoptip Charter, 83, School of the Future 6. Mother of God, scoring 83 points is not easy when 2/3 of that game was played under the mercy rule. What else? Yankee pitcher Andy Pettitte pitched his first complete game in 7 years, a 5-hit, 2-1 win. It was his final game of his career, finishing 11-11 to now be the only pitcher in Major League history who pitched at least 15 years to not have a losing season. NASCAR driver Jimmy Johnson won for the 8th time at Dover. Dale Earnhardt, whose winless streak has now reached 48, finished second. The race won 3 straight elimination games in Toronto, Texas, and Cleveland. They are hot and now playing right now as they speak at Boston. L.C. Greenwood of the Steel Curtain of the Steelers in their glory years in the 70s died at the age of 67. And someone died locally this week. That was a very good high school and college basketball player. I seen him play 10 times when I was in the 4th grade, when my dad had season tickets and took me to every home game at the Castle. The year was 1950. Hazleton won its 2nd straight East Penn title and had a very good reason why, which included 16 straight wins, was a newcomer who played his senior season at HHS, Bill Shull. He joined the other 4 starters, Keek, Wandish, and Farris, and Scambia, to knit a crown club. Bill Shull scored in doubles in every game he played in that 1949-50 season. The Mounts finished at 18-3 after losing a playoff to Monterey City. Shell went on to have a good career at Gettysburg College. Our condolences to Bill Shell's family and friends. He was 81. Till Monday, stay loose.
Plenty more news and information headed your way on News 13 now. More on that early morning fire, which started in an empty home and spread to a local firehouse. That story and much more news when the 13 crew comes right back.